Alright, hey everyone, this is side angle side example for 3.2 law of cosines. Here it says, solve the triangle. A is 135 degrees, B is 4, and C is 9. Now, what I would look for is, I'm hoping for law of sines, right? That's what I want to use. It's a lot faster than law of cosines, a lot easier. So I look at this and say, I've got 135, I don't know the opposite side, so that's not going to help, and I don't know any of the other angles, so I'm going to have to use a law of cosines. Unfortunately, that's how it works. So if I know A, this one, I'm going to be able to find the other angles using the law of sines. So I'm going to try and find A. So let's go over and use our law of sines. This is in your book 271. And I'm going to try and find lowercase a right here. So I'm going to use this top one only because it's A. Now if the letters were switched around, again, these letters don't really matter, but since I have it all set up, let's use that one. So I'm going to say that A squared is going to equal B squared. Now B is right here. 4 squared is 16. And then it's going to be plus C squared. 9 times 9 is 81. So we got that, and then it's going to be minus 2bc cosine A. So we got 2 times b, which is 4, times c, which is 9, times cosine A, which is 135. So we got cosine 135. All right, so 16 plus 81 is 87, 97. So we can say A squared is going to equal 97. Let's just put that in black. 97 minus 2 times 4 times 9. That's 8 times 9. 8 times 9, 72. That's good. 72 cosine 135. So what we're going to do now is let's get out our calculator and let's go right to cosine 135. 135, and cosine is negative, oh, there you go, okay, you can see it, very good, and we're going to multiply that by 72 times 72, and I get negative 50.91. Alright, it seems high, but remember A squared, so even though we have a pretty high number and we're going to get 97 minus a negative, that's going to be okay. So we're going to do, I'm just going to write it down because my calculator doesn't have that answer part on the, like my graphing calculator does. So I'm going to do 97 minus 50.911912, I guess I should say if I round up. So it's going to be minus a negative, so it means adding a positive. So I'm going to do, let's do that minus 97. And I'm going to get negative 147, but because I know my positives and negatives, that means A squared is going to equal that positive. So we're going to say A squared is going to equal 147.912. So that's A squared, but not A. How do we find A? We'll take the square root, and then we'd be done, right? So square root, oh, my square root's not going to work like that, times, let's do parentheses, let's do, oops, negative 1. And there we go. Now we can take the square root, and we should get A is going to equal, we have positive and negative 12, but you know it's not going to be a negative because we can't have a negative distance. So we're going to say A is going to equal to positive 12.162. So we're going to say 12.162 about. Alright, and now we know what A is. Now we can use the law of sines to find either B or C, and then we can just add them up to 180 to find out the other angle. Let's do that real quick. We have 12.162 divided by sine 135 is going to equal, which one do you want to do, B or C? Tell me through the computer. Alright, we'll do C. Sounds good. So it is going to be 9 over sine C. Cross multiply, yada yada yada, and we will end up with sine C equals 9 times sine 135 all over 12.162. Okay, and this should be a capital C, not a lowercase c. Alright, so then let's just use our calculator. Let's go back and do all that stuff. Sine 135 times 9 is going to equal that, and then divide it by 12.162. And we end up with that. So we say sine C is going to equal 0.523. Now we want to do is to get rid of that sign, take the inverse sign, and you should get 31.55, which seems in the realm of possibility. So we can say C equals about 31.55 degrees. Let's put it in, 31.55 degrees, and now let's just find out what B equals. So we can say B equals 180 minus 135 plus 31.55. Alright, from here it should be pretty much calculations only. So we have 31.55 plus, notice I'm just using whatever is in the calculator. I'm not retyping it all in. If it's there already, I'm just trying to get it to be as much as the exact as I can, so I might as well just keep this number in there. So I'm going to do that plus 135 equals that. And I'm going to do 180 minus 166.55. So let's make that a negative plus 180. And you end up with 13.44. So you're going to say B is about 13.45 if I round degrees. So we can say 13.45 degrees, and now I have all sides and all angles. Alright, there you go. So here is your assignment on here. It says to find all the missing sides and angles. C is up here. Length of C is 10 centimeters. B is over here. The length of B is 15 centimeters. And we don't know the length A, but we do know that the angle A is 115 degrees. Alright, and for your trivia question, what 1977 Queen album boasted the rock classics We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions?